Hello friends. So let's start the first topic of the MCSA, that is install Windows servers in host and compute environments. Okay. So what we are going to learn here in this topic, we have to make a server. We have to deploy a server for the organization. So before for deploying that particular server in the organization according to the organizational need, so we have to purchase a server computer and we have to purchase a server operating system. So we are going to discuss entire thing in this particular theory. It is very important, okay, for installation of a operating system, that is a server operating system. Okay. So you know this thing, Windows Server 2022. What is this particular one? It is a operating system. It is a operating system from Microsoft company. So Microsoft has launched the first server operating system, Windows NT, in the year 1985, and every third year or fourth year since then Microsoft is launching different you can say additions or new upgradations of the server operating system. Okay. And in the year 2000, a very huge, you can say, discovery Microsoft have has done, and they have given a very good operating system, server operating system, Windows Server 2000. Since then, most of the companies, especially medium to large company, uses Windows Server operating system for their organizational unit, organizational need, you can say. Okay, need, whatever the need they need, want, no. So these Microsoft Server operating system provide the same. Okay. So in such a way, we recently Microsoft, something around 2 years back, they have launched Windows Server 2022. So we are going to complete our entire MCSA program on this server operating system only, so that you are going to learn the latest operating system from the Microsoft. Okay. So Windows Server 2022 provides administrators with a variety of ways to deploy servers. Okay. So what does it mean? Administrator who administer the server computer. So if they are using or installing Windows Server 2022, so they are going to get a variety of ways to deploy the server. What are the varieties? We will come to know step by step in further classes. Okay. So you can install the operating system on physical computer, or you can also create virtual deployment using virtual machine. So what is the meaning of it? So nor generally, you know this thing, if you have a computer, so in this computer, if you purchase a new computer, na, what is the first requirement? You have to install a server operating system. Okay. So after installation of operating system only, your computer will start and you can utilize your computer by installing different application software. In the same way, it is saying that you have to install this particular operating system. But nowadays there are two modes, two options available in the market. So either you can install this operating system, on a physical computer, just like our in our desktop computer we install our normal operating system, Windows 10 and 11. So in such a way, or there is a new, you can say, technology available, okay, is invented, that is known as a virtual technology. So you can deploy this operating system as a virtual deployment. Okay. So how to deploy virtually? By creating a virtual machine. So what are the virtual machines and how to deploy virtual machine, virtual deployment, this thing we will see in a Hyper-V topic, okay, which will come in the coming classes. Okay. So next one, it is very important to know, okay, there is a more to installing Windows Server 2022 than running a setup wizard. It means what? Most of you knows this, how to install operating system in your computer. So you have to just run a setup. You have to just insert a DVD installation DVD setup DVD, or you make a bootable pen drive and you start installing, you have to follow the wizard. Okay, so but here the case is different. You are going to deploy a very important computer of the organization, that is a server computer. So installing Windows Server operating system is just not fulfilling your requirement. Okay, so setting up a wizard is a very easy task. What is the important thing just here? So to deploy servers or deploying server requires careful planning. Okay, we need a careful planning. Okay, before you touch any hardware. So this is very important point. You have to keep in mind. Okay, um, deploying server is a not you can say um, normal case. It's a very serious issue. So for this thing, you need a very careful planning. That time only you are going to purchase, you are going to touch any hardware. Okay, so this planning, okay, this careful planning includes selecting the proper operating system edition. This thing in a normal operating system also there are so many additions based on the requirement you purchases the that particular one. In the same way, in server operating system also there are so many additions. We are going to discuss this one also in this topic only. So you have to the careful planning starts with this one. Just like you have to think what are the requirements of your organization, needs of the organization. Accordingly you have to purchase operating system edition and best installation option. So this is also a you can say next thing which is present in your server operating system. Okay, there are three installation option. Which option is best for your this thing computing need or organizational need? According to this one, that installation option and edition you are going to select and install. Okay, next one, planning a Windows Server 2022 installation requires several important decisions that affect not only the initial deployment of the server but also its ongoing maintenance. So that important decisions, okay, affect what not only at the time of deployment of the server but after installation or deploy after when you deploy the server na, so ongoing maintenance. Okay, so that time also that particular decision will take effect. Okay, so while the Windows installation process is relatively simple, okay, there are options to be considered, both both before you purchase server hardware and operating system. The same thing it is repeated here. So installation option is very relatively simple, but you have to consider what type of server, okay, you have to purchase. There are so many hardwares. For example, in a this thing, for example, in our daily routine life, if we need a computer only for a well, like a simple application running web browsing and some multimedia, we can purchase computer just like a Core i3, Core i3, correction. If we are purchasing computer for this thing, playing games and all, so we will go with the Core i5. Those who knows about the computer, what I'm just telling, they can understand this one. And if the requirement is more, you have to do programming, some very um, multimedia and higher end you have to work on a higher end application. That time the next level of hardware, that is that starts with the processor, that is a Core i7 or 9, you have to purchase with a RAM and hard disk, graphic card and all. So the same thing here it is discussed here. um, Installation option is very easy, but you have to consider which type of server, the what would be the hardware present in it. Okay, you have to purchase, and what would be the operating system. Okay, the operating system, no doubt it would be a Windows Server 2022. So which edition you are going to purchase, this thing you have to decide. Okay, so let's discuss the first thing, that is a hardware of the server, hardware of the computer which you are going to deploy. Okay, so the hardware requirements to install Windows Server 2022 is in such a way. If your computer does not, so why we should think about hardware requirements? So there are two things: minimum hardware requirement, maximum hardware requirement. Minimum means what? Okay, minimum this much hardware, okay, capability should be present that time only. Okay, so here it is written, if your computer does not meet the following minimum hardware specification. Okay, here we will see what is the minimum hardware specification. So if does not meet, okay, so Windows Server 2022 will not install correctly. Okay, it will not be installed, you have to keep in mind. Or you can say possibly not installed at all. Okay, so what is the minimum hardware requirement to install Windows Server 2022? It is in such a way: processor should be something around 1.4 gigahertz, 64-bit RAM. Here there are two additions. Okay, installation options we discussed now. So there are three installation options. If you are installing server core, that time 512 MB ECC, it is a different type of RAM, so this one is enough. But if you are going with installation option, this one desktop experience, minimum 2 GB of ECC RAM is required. So minimum disk space required is 32 GB minimum. If it is a SATA, okay, it is a good one. Otherwise comparable. Okay, drive, network adapter minimum Ethernet, okay, or gigabit throughout also. Next one, monitor VGA or higher resolution. VGA means what? Normal computer or higher resolution computer monitor. Also you can use keyboard, mouse, okay, and internet access. This is the minimum hardware requirement. And next one, maximum hardware requirement, or you can say maximum hardware support. Okay, so and here one more thing is mentioned, a virtualization limit. So virtualization is a technology to use computer hardware completely. Okay, so when this technology was not invented, so it was the computer hardware could not be used fully. Example is just like, okay, nowadays we use our hard disk in our computer. So sometime what happens, if you have attached a 1 terabyte of hard disk in your computer, it will be completely filled, okay, by storing lots of data. Same thing just like your smartphone. Okay, but this was not possible with the RAM and the processor in earlier time. If you are installing any software, application software, so if you are running this one, so your processor and RAM, that is the compute capacity, will be utilized something around 20%. Okay, and remaining 80% was going unutilized. So to using remaining 80%, there was no concept technology. So after 1997, this technology is invented, and nowadays processor are totally equipped with this particular technology, virtualization. So this supports a very higher hardware. So here that's why I've written k maximum hardware and virtualization limit or support. You can say virtualization. What is virtualization? It is having a complicated issue. Okay, so virtualization is having a complicated issue of the maximum hardware configuration supported by Windows Server 2022. Okay, so here I will just tell this thing only. There is a separate topic, Hyper-V. In that topic now, we will discuss what is virtualization, how and how much this thing virtualization, this thing maximum supports hardware. Okay, so it's not simple matter of how many processors, how much memory, and largest possible disk this thing size. Okay, while processor maximums were at one time measured in the number of socket. Now they refer to numbers of cores and logical processor. Okay, so in such a way, after discussing what is virtualization, just here the maximum hardware configuration for Windows Server 2022 is as follows. Okay, so processor something around 512 logical processor. Okay, and in a condition when Hyper-V is a this thing, Hyper-V is a product of Microsoft, that is a virtualization this thing, okay, virtualization platform, that is Hyper-V. If it is installed, um, that time 512 logical processor should be will be supported. Okay, so next one, memory up to 24 terabytes per host, server, and up to 12 terabyte per virtual machine. Okay, next one, VHDX means what? Virtual hard disk size up to 64 terabyte. Virtual machines, okay, we can create virtual machine in Hyper-V or any virtualization platform. So here it supports something around 1024 this thing virtual machine per host server. Okay, next one, virtual machine processor up to 240 per virtual machine. Okay, in such a way, this is the hardware, okay, maximum hardware support or limit. So here one more thing we need to know, that is hardware means what? There are three types of hardware available in the market: desktop class hardware, server class hardware, and the enterprise class hardware. So what these are? They are according to our computing need, just like vehicles. Okay, there are two-wheeler vehicles are of many types, like two-wheeler, four-wheeler, and heavy vehicles. So what is the use of a two-wheeler? Two-wheeler, you can purchase in a lesser price amount, and you can take two-wheeler in every this thing everywhere. Means in a rush areas also you can park anywhere easily. Correct, Shana? For this purpose, you need only two-wheeler, but you cannot this thing carry huge, you can say, weight on it. Okay, and multiple passenger cannot go with this one, this two-wheeler. But if you have if you have to this thing travel with the more people, more passengers are there, according to your need, you can go with a four-wheeler and the heavy vehicle. Okay, in the same way, there are three hardware types available in the market for the computer. First one is a desktop class hardware, which is nothing but our normal computers and desktop computers and laptop, okay, which we use for our daily work, multimedia, and some programming and all. But the next class, that is a server class hardware. Under this one, server computers, okay, are present. So these servers, okay, are the same computers which we are using for deploying as a this thing different uh, servers in our organization based on the need. Okay, so what does it mean? We should know about the servers. What are these servers? These are the servers, okay, so which has more management and monitoring features built into. Okay, so these servers are having a management and monitoring features built into, so that the health of the hardware is capable of being monitored and maintained. So why there is a requirement of monitoring and maintaining the health? Because this server is a very important you can say part or component of the organization. Why? Because it should run 24 into 7. That time only the company's work will be continued. Okay, so I think you have heard this term server. Server is just down in many online services. Okay, so the server refer to this powerful computer. Okay, so server has redundancy options to protect from drive failures as RAID controllers, and protection against power supply failures as multiple power supply. So these servers are equipped with multiple things, just like a drive failure. So multiple hard drives in such a way, RAID in RAID controllers, in the form of RAID controllers, and multiple power supply. This is one example. So what does it mean? We travel by car, okay, on roads on the earth. Okay, so this car is having only one engine. So if the car is having some problem during running na, so maximum it will be stopped. Okay, we are safe, and we can just stop our car at this thing side of the road, so we are safe. But if we are flying through airplane, so if anything happens to the engine, it is a very serious issue. The plane will be crashed, and what will happen? You know this thing. That's why in plane na, there are two engines, okay, multiple engines. What is the actual requirement of multiple engines? Because this particular vehicle, this particular airbus airplane is flying in the air, okay. So if anything happens to the one engine na, so directly it will crash. So to overcome this problem, the airplanes will be having two engines. When one failed, another will be switched and used, correction. In the same way, this server computer, okay, is just providing a very, you can say, um, important this thing services. So these services needs continuously, these services needs to be supplied continuously. So that's why, if anything, any device or any component of the server computer is failed na, so if the entire server computer is down, it will be a very serious issue. So to overcome this particular problem, these server computers, okay, are equipped with a multiple, you can say, so many components. Just like a RAID means what? Our computers are having only one hard disk or SATA disk, this thing SSD. But this our computers will be having a multiple this thing hard disk drives in which operating system is present. So if one hard disk failed, another hard disk will through the another hard disk, the operating systems continue running. In the same way, there is a power supply unit in a computer, in our computer also. If that power supply failed, na, our entire machine will be down. But same case should not be happen with the server computer. That's why multiple power supplies are present in the server. If one power supply failed na, so another will take its place, okay. So in such a way, enterprise servers have even more protection. Enterprise servers are uh, even bigger and powerful computers, okay. So you can just see one particular image, okay. And the example of enterprise server is a rack server or a blade server, which you can see it is a computer. It is a CPU of the this particular powerful computer. So you can see these are the blade. What is this? This one is a different discussion. So we can understand in such a way, the server system running business and large commercial application have similar structure, just like a personal computer or even your phones. But these server computers have different purposes, okay. Their components emphasize different priorities, okay. Different priorities means they are providing different services 24 into 7, okay, in such a way. So you can see over here. So in normal computer there is only one processor, but in server computer multiple physical processor will be present. In our normal computer, 1 2 4 RAM will are present, but here you can say see different multiple RAM, okay, are present in a server computer, okay. In our computer there would be only one or one two, okay, this storage devices. But in server computer there would be multiple this thing disk drives, that is a SATA. These are the different type of storage devices: SATA, SCSI, SCSI, SSD or the RAID, okay. These are the different technology storage devices. Network adapter, we are having only one, okay. But okay, it supports a particular technology. But server computer is having a multiple network interface card, okay. uh, Copper also and fiber optics means copper means cat5 cable, cat6 cable, through which the server will be connected in the local area network. In the same way, with a fiber optic cable, server can be connected in the local area network, same thing. And next one is power supply. Just now I've told, okay, server computers are having a multiple power supplies, okay. So the first one, the first component of the computer, server computer, CPU, that is nothing but a processor. Modern server CPUs are designed to deliver energy efficient performance for high end business computing, okay. So these CPUs are equipped with this one. And if this the features of more modern server CPUs include the following: enhanced instruction data cache, next one multi-core support, multi-processor support, parallel processing, okay. And nowadays there are, you know, this thing, there are two chip manufacturers in the market, Intel and AMD. So Intel Xeon series Xeon, this one Xeon series is for server computer, and in AMD Opteron series for a server computer. Next one, memory, that is a RAM. Okay, server memory is configured using dual inline memory module, that is a DIMM, which is also present in RAM, this thing normal desktop computer also. So DIMMs are available in capacities ranging from 256 MB. Nowadays it is not only 256 MB, that is from 8 GB to 32 GB per module. Okay, in the server computer. So 32 GB, or you can say 64 or 120 28 GB per module. Okay, server support between 6 and 32 DIMMs slot depending on configuration. Next one is storage. Just like in our normal computer, there is a hard disk where in which we can store something around 1 terabyte of data normally. In the same way, server computer are having storage but in a very larger volume. Okay, local storage in each server can be formed by multiple hard disk drive or solid state drives. So these hard disk or SSDs are connected via these controller, either normal cable or a controller just like a SAS or SCSI. Okay, and there are type of storage for the server computer. Okay, what these are? First one, local means what? It is a direct attached storage. It is a this regarding this storage. There is a separate topic known as a server storage technology. In this one, we will discuss these all. So, a server computer which is attached with multiple hard drive is known as a direct attached storage or local, and other storage will be there, just like a NAS device in the local area network or storage area network, which is a combination of fiber channel and a iSCSI. Okay, so we'll discuss in that particular topic. Networking. So a server computer provides the service through the local area network, so it should have a very powerful, you can say, network interface card as well as a this thing. Okay, cables it should support server. So already we discussed ke, server computer support fiber optic cables. Okay, server networking provides high speed and high capacity connectivity to other servers and end users. Okay, so in the form of RJ45, or nowadays always it is a fiber optic cable. Okay, so management, how the server, when the servers are deployed, it will be deployed in a special room known as a server room or a data center. So every now and then we will not go and locally use that particular computer, we have to remotely connect that server. Okay, so remote management, in band and out band softwares are available in the market, we have to use to connect the server. So remote management enables IT support staff to remotely connect to a server to carry out operational or maintenance tasks, significantly reducing the necessity to locally interface with the machines. Okay, so in remote in band, these are the particular, okay, uh, softwares. Microsoft Remote Desktop, RDP or SSH is available, and out of band management, Dell iDRAG HP ILO is present. Okay, next one, about the power. Okay, power supply, you can see here, servers requires very reliable and efficient power delivery. Okay, so therefore servers often have a multiple redundant power supply, just like unlike our desktop computer which is having only one power supply, SMPS. These uh, servers will be having a multiple, you can say, power supplies. Many server system supports hot swappable power supplies. So all the servers, mostly all the servers support what a hot swappable power supply. You can see multiple power supply units are present in this particular server computer. Okay, so these particular power supply allows replacement when they are failed, or for maintenance or for the maintenance purpose, without the requirement to power of the server. Okay, so server computers need to run continuously to meet this requirement. So if anything happens to one power supply unit na, so it can be replaced or you can do any maintenance work so without just shutting down that server. Okay, so these servers, why we use these server computers? Because they are equipped with redundancy and resilience. So redundancy and resilience are major design features of the server computers. Many systems are implemented with redundancy at the component level. Just like redundant fans they are having, server computers are having redundant fans, means multiple fans, redundant power supply, just now we saw, redundant memories they are having, multiple RAM, other mechanism that enhance resilience. Resilience means what? Monitoring. Okay, so you will come to know by different softwares, that is a resiliency, that is a power on monitoring, pre-failure monitoring, and failure monitoring. These all things we can monitor. Okay, so the next after the first requirement is hardware requirement, correct, Chana? You have to deploy a server computer in your organization. So based on the organization need, you have to purchase server computer. So we discuss what is a server computer, what are the different, you can say, um, components with what all capacities. Okay, so this thing we have discussed, and what is the minimum and maximum hardware requirement. Okay, support or limitations of the compute Windows Server 2022. Just now we've discussed. After this one, you should know which Windows Server 2022 operating system edition you should install. Okay, you have to install. So this Microsoft provides Windows Server 2022 in several editions, which vary in the feature. Okay, features they include the resources they support and the cost of the licenses. Okay, obviously you know this thing. Okay, if there are additions in everything, na, anything, so the additions are based on the features. Okay, every edition is having different features. They are equipped with this thing support. Okay, what they support, correction, and the cost also. Okay, so in such a way, the case of operating system is the same one. There are several editions here in 2022. Okay, OS. So you have to select particular edition which meets your requirement. Okay, the first edition is data center. Okay, so it is intended for large and powerful servers in highly virtualized environment. Okay, so what is virtualized environment? Okay, we will discuss later on. For now only this thing, here there is a powerful computer. First one, we will install a virtualization platform, and above this one we will create a virtual machine. This one is known as a virtualized environment. So if such type of environment you need na, means single computer you have to use as a multiple virtual machine, that time data center edition you have to choose. And it is for large and powerful servers also. Means uh, you need a particular server computer which which should support thousands of computer, which should support a very this thing complex application. So that time you have to choose this edition. Okay, so the license allows for an unlimited number of operating system support. Okay, that is a OSE. OSE means operating system environment, or Hyper-V containers also. This is a different, you can say, concept, Hyper-V containers. So the data center edition also includes additional features um, not available in other edition. There are totally 6 editions. So this is the highest edition, and in this edition only we are going to complete our entire MCSA course. Okay, so because this is the reason, it is having all the features and some additional features which are not available in other editions. Okay, so editions just like storage space direct, storage replica, shield virtual machines, and new networking stack with additional virtualization options are present in data center. Next addition name is standard. Okay, it allows for two OSE operating system environments and includes the same core set of features as the data center edition. However, it lacks the new storage and networking features listed in the data center description. Okay, this is the second edition. Third edition name is Essential, which include nearly all the feature in standard which are present in standard and data center edition, but it does not include server core installation option. What is it? We will see in later on. The Essential Edition is also limited to one OSC only, that is physical or virtual, and maximum of 25 users and 50 devices it can support, unlikely standard and data center edition. Okay, Essential Edition includes a configuration wizard that install and configures Active Directory domain services and other essential components needed for single server network or environment. Okay, and next edition name is multi-point premium server, available only through academic licensing. Multi-point edition enables multiple users to access a single server installation. Okay, and next edition name is this thing, storage server. So here I'm mentioning 2016 also. So this 2016 is the name of a server operating system. Okay, after this one Microsoft has launched 2019, and now it is a 2022. So these three operating system are having the same type, same you can say OSE, and same number of editions. That's why I've mentioned here 2016. So 2016 and 2019 and 22, these all server operating system are available with us 6 editions. So this edition available only through original equipment manufacturer OEM channel. Okay, the storage server edition is bundled as part of a dedicated storage hardware solution. So this technology we are also going to learn in a data center edition, as this thing is also present. If you want separately a storage server, that time only this edition you are purchasing. Okay, and you will install in a server computer. And last one is a Hyper-V edition, available at no cost. The Hyper-V server edition is a hypervisor. Actually, it is a hypervisor only download without a graphical interface, that host virtual machine as its only function. So when you install this Hyper-V edition, so it is not having a graphical interface, but you can make only, you can create only virtual machine. In those virtual machine you can install operating system. Okay, so the gist of the story about the operating system edition 2016, 19 and 22 is in such a way they are having these 6 editions: data center, okay, standard, essential, multi-point premium server, storage server and Hyper-V server, and description is in such a way. Okay, so this is a very this thing, if you want a very um, higher edition and all the features, that time you are going with a data center, and after this one standard and essential, and these are for different purposes. Okay, so after addition, next, okay, requirement or next thing is which installation option you should use. Okay, should you use? So there are three installation options available in 2016, 19 and 2022. Okay, so total three. Okay, so let's discuss the first two: desktop experience and server core. Okay, so desktop experience includes all of the Windows features and full graphical user interface, just like our Windows 10 and 11. So when you install this edition desktop experience, okay, installation option, so you can manage everything graphically. Okay, and server core has a minimal user interface and significantly reduces use footprint, so it can utilize less memory and disk space than desktop experience installation, because server core is not having any graphical support. It is command based operating system, character user interface. Okay, so everything you have to install, implement or configure na, so it would be via commands. Okay, so these are the two this thing installation options mostly used, and the third installation option name is nano server. Okay, which requires an even smaller resource footprint, but this option does not appear in the initial installation wizard. You deploy Nano Server later using Windows PowerShell. So what does it mean? It means that directly, just like a operating system, you will be not getting a media or this thing, a DVD or a downloadable version, so that you can copy in a DVD or pen drive you can install. It is present in this standard and data center edition. You have to run PowerShell commands. You have to use PowerShell and you have to run PowerShell command. That time this particular Nano server will be installed and created and installed. Okay, so totally there are three installation option: desktop experience, server core, and Nano server in such a way. Okay, so these are the description about this one. Next one, after this one, you have to consider, okay, which roles and features, okay, does the server need. So now you have purchased a server computer, okay, according to your this thing organizational need. Okay, so you have purchased, for example, with 128 cores of processor computer, something around 256 GB of RAM, and 10 terabyte of hard disk space with a gigabyte and fiber optic support also in this one. This is a hardware, and you've decided that, okay, you are going to install Windows Server 2022 with edition name is data center in it. Okay, so this would be the edition. Third one is installation option. So mostly installation option used is graphical interface. This is the, you can say, advantage of using Microsoft Windows operating system. Okay, so Microsoft Windows operating systems are famous for their graphical capability. So we decided the this thing, desktop experience edition. After installation this operating system in the server computer, so you have to decide, okay, which role or feature you are going to use in this one. So it is also according to your need, this thing organization need. Okay, so the type and number of roles and features you plan to install can greatly affect the hardware resources the server will need, as well as the edition you purchase. Okay, so for example, complex roles such as Active Directory certificate services and failover clustering typically require additional resources and are not available in editions. Okay, so third party applications also affect uh, resource utilization. Okay, so that's the end of today's session, in which we discuss a careful planning, you can say. The first topic we have started, and in the gist of the entire first the today's class is careful planning before purchasing any server computer, that is a hardware, or purchasing server operating system. So you should know what hardware should be present in your server computer, and obviously you are going to install Windows Server 2022. So in 2022, which edition you have to install, which installation option you have to install, and which roles you are going to use in this particular server computer. This thing we have discussed. So that's it for this session. In next this thing video, we will directly start a lab. Okay, okay, thank you for watching. If you like the video, subscribe the channel and like the video. Okay, thank you.